Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, September 13th. Skipped yesterday, worked, and played D&D with my buddies. Like Mondays are supposed to be like. It's good. Today, I got off work and I've been thinking about it during work and now after work, and it's movie day, and I'm like, time for a movie. And I'd made a decision. And I've decided to cancel that decision. And the thing is, like, in doing so, I'm like, I don't know right in this moment if I will actually get through all the movies on this shelf this year. I might fail. Because I'm like, you know what, let's watch one of those here, you know. I had 3 movies left. Hannibal, and that one should be fine. I just figure I'll wait till, like, around Halloween or something. And then I have Forrest Gump and Frequency. One of which I know nothing about, the other which I know very little. But I've never seen and don't have any really draw to want to see. But I own them, and so they're on the shelf. But I was like, I should watch one of those. But when I think about, well, spending my time, giving up of my time to invest in watching it, and I'm like, I don't want to. I want to watch something that I am more likely have higher confidence that I will enjoy. So I'm not going to watch it. That was the plan. Instead, I am going to continue with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And what do we got today? The Incredible Hulk. I have never seen The Incredible Hulk. I saw the Hulk movie that that had the weird, like, turn into elements or whatever thing villain at the end that had, like, all the comic book frames. I saw that one. But I have never seen The Incredible Hulk. I skipped this movie. I was like, yeah, whatever. I've seen Hulk before. I didn't need to watch it. But I'm going to watch it now. So, that's the second of the Marvel movies was Hulk. And then he didn't get any of his own. He's only in all the other movies. With a different actor. Who I very much enjoy. So this is Edward Norton, I think? So I have no idea how he does. I've never seen any of that. Yeah. So I'm going to watch Incredible Hulk. And I would give The Incredible Hulk a 6.9 out of 10. It was alright, I suppose. For, again, no back of box, so description from online. The Incredible Hulk, 2008. After being exposed to gamma radiation that causes him to transform into the monstrous Hulk, scientist Bruce Banner goes on the run and isolates himself from his love, Betty Ross. Hunted by the military, Banner seeks to cure himself and prevent his condition from being weaponized. Sorta. Other than the part about after being exposed to gamma radiation, because that has nothing to do with this movie. It really doesn't. You get a flash of scenes like during the opening credits that I guess is supposed to take the place of that. But they don't really let you know what's going on. Like, they don't, like, this is not an origin story for Hulk. Like halfway through the movie, I had to, like, pause it and look up online, like, did they just make an MCU sequel to the, what was, I guess, the 2003 Hulk? Like, is that the same story? Because obviously, you know, same lead plot points. Dark-haired girl with military father. So that's, like, the same, like, general, like, characterization. So I was like, so is this not having the origin because it's supposed to be a sequel to that? No. They just decided not to do the origin story and, like, pretend that you already, like, they take for granted that you've seen that other movie or that you've read the comics, and they don't bother to explain what on earth is going on, and it is very frustrating for me. I'm like, this is supposed to be, like, his origin movie, right? No? You just decided you didn't want to have an origin movie? That's sucky. I thought this is the movie that sets the Hulk up as a character, because so far I've only ever seen him in movies with other characters, and therefore, yeah, you're taking for granted, he's in place. I thought this is going to be the one that gets it started, and it's not. It is not. It basically jumps into Bruce Banner several years in, living in a foreign country with, a good, they keep tracking, it's 157 days since the last incident, since the last time he went green. So he's already on the run, which is where we find him later on, where he's hiding out in foreign countries, doing what he can to be helpful and stay calm. So he's already at that point when this movie begins. Whatever. So it wasn't the movie that I was wanting. It's just, and the thing I guess that makes me upset about that is because at the end, the only thing that has changed since the beginning is the pre-credit scene. It seems like it's filmed as a post-credits scene, but they put it just before the credits, of Tony Stark walking into the general being like, we're forming a team. Who's we? Yes, who is we? It's S.H.I.E.L.D., but he doesn't say it. So, we learned, of course, Tony Stark working with S.H.I.E.L.D., and that they're going to recruit Hulk. That is the only thing that's changed, and it's that post-credit scene. Otherwise, they expect that you already know who Hulk is, and what his backstory is, and what goes on. Like all of that is just assumed. It's just a couple hours of, let's show some Hulk action. It's not really developing or advancing anything. General plot: Bruce trying to hide from the military chasing him all over the world, ends up super soldiering one of their soldiers, which they bring that up, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's like, because I think I mentioned like World War II. I think that's going to tie into Captain America, like that. This is like the advancement of that or something. I don't know. Anyways, that super soldier also then, once they track him down to like this scientist that Bruce has been trying to work with, who, is like, oh, I may have a cure, but to get it, he has replicated the blood, the thing that Bruce is trying to keep away from everyone, so it doesn't, cause more monsters like him. And he's like, oh no, you've replicated all this. Anyways, so the super soldier also gets Hulk blood and then becomes the Abomination. And they fight, and they're equal matches, and neither can defeat the other. And then the Hulk wins because I literally nothing changes. They cannot beat each other, and then the plot decides, hey, we should wrap this up, and so the Hulk wins. I don't know. Not explained. The CG is moderate. It's fair. Definitely not nearly as good as, like, say, Iron Man, the movie before it, though flesh is harder than, CG metal. So I get that. But also not nearly as good as I remember. So it's my memory. It's been a while since I've seen it. Like, by the time the Hulk shows up in Avengers. Particularly when calm. Action Hulk, CG looks great. Calm, reflective Hulk, calming down Hulk, Hulk being in love with Betty Ross and not attacking her. That Hulk, not so good. Doesn't look great. Doesn't pull it off. Doesn't look real. So. But yeah, so it's fine. Edward Norton did fine in the role of Bruce Banner. There's nothing really wrong with his portrayal of it. But what is it, Mark Ruffalo that takes on the role? I love him. I've loved him in all the times I've seen him in that role. So I'm also not sad that the role changes actors. But it wasn't that he was bad at it in any way. Mr. Blue was the guy that I know from Holes, and so that's cool. See him in a role. Of course, Liv Tyler from Lord of the Rings. She does great. And I'm gonna have to try and remember to pay attention whenever we get back to his story. Is she mentioned? Because I'm pretty sure she doesn't show up again. At least not in any of the ones that I've seen. So is she mentioned? Do they get an emotional closure? Because otherwise he's just on the run. Because he starts out on the run and he ends the movie still on the run. I think in his final scene, the point where it's, 30 whatever days without incident and then 0 days without incident, but it looks like he's doing it like while calm and reflective. I think that's him showing his ability to turn it on and off, that he's learning that. Although the movie doesn't go over him learning that. It's not like part of the plot, but I do think that's what it's supposed to represent in the final scene there. The movie's objective was show cool Hulk fights. It was not any advancement of plot, character, or story. And that's, I think, kind of what's making me bitter about it. It's like, I wish they would have advanced some plot, character, and or story during this movie. But nah, that's too much work. Anyways, it's Hulk. I've seen another of the movies that I haven't seen. I didn't love it the most, but it's one of the ones that I've not heard the best things about. So, surprise. Still, I think I'm happier that I watched this than one of those other random movies that... It was exciting at the end when Tony Stark walks in. I'm like, oh, I know that voice. Robert Downey Jr., yes. That had to be exciting, like, in the movies, right? Like when it was new, because at that point people weren't so much expecting all these tie-ins between. Like we didn't know what to expect. This was new, this whole universe. Anyways, I'm rambling. I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for joining me. Join me as my journey continues. Bye.